Nikola Tesla was one of the greatest inventors in history. He imagined a world connected by energy, light, and communication. While others thought small, Tesla dreamed big. He wanted to give free electricity to everyone. His life was full of victories, but also of pain and loneliness. Today, we remember Tesla not only as an inventor, but also as a man ahead of his time. Chapter 1. A Boy from Smiljan. Nikola Tesla was born in 1856 in the small village of Smiljan in modern-day Croatia. His father was a priest in the Serbian Orthodox Church. His mother, though not formally educated, was very talented and creative. She invented simple household tools and encouraged Nikola to use his imagination. From an early age, Tesla showed signs of genius. He had an excellent memory, and he could imagine machines in his mind before building them. But Tesla's childhood was not easy. When he was a boy, his older brother died in an accident. This tragedy marked Tesla deeply, and he became more quiet and thoughtful. Chapter 2. Curious Mind. As Nikola Tesla grew, his curiosity became stronger every day. He was fascinated by the power of nature, lightning in the sky, the movement of water, and the energy of the wind. Instead of playing games like other children, he preferred to spend hours thinking and imagining. He loved to read books and learn from them. Tesla discovered that he had a special gift. He could build machines in his imagination. He did not need to draw them on paper first. He could see every part of a machine in his mind, and he could turn it around, test it, and even improve it, like a movie playing in his head. This ability made him very different from other children. At school, he quickly learned mathematics and science. Teachers noticed his intelligence, but sometimes they did not understand him. Tesla was often lost in thought, dreaming about inventions that seemed impossible. But for him, nothing was impossible. He believed that the power of the mind could change the world. During his teenage years, Tesla became sick with a serious illness. Doctors thought he might not survive, but while he was recovering, he promised himself that if he lived, he would dedicate his life to science. This moment made him stronger, more determined, and ready to follow a great destiny. Chapter 3. Dreams of Energy. As a young man, Nikola Tesla started to dream about one great question. What if energy could be free and unlimited for everyone? He looked at the world around him. Many people lived in darkness when the sun went down because candles and oil lamps were expensive. Factories depended on coal, which produced smoke and made the air dirty. Villages far away from big cities had no way to get electricity at all. Tesla believed that nature itself, lightning, waterfalls, wind, and even the earth, contained endless power that people could use. One day, while walking with a friend, Tesla explained his dream of creating a new type of motor powered by electricity. He described the motor in detail, using his imagination. His friend laughed and said it was impossible. But Tesla replied with confidence, "One day, I will build it, and it will change the world." At night, he often stayed awake, staring at the stars. He felt a deep connection between the universe and energy. To him, the universe was not just a mystery. It was a system of power, waiting to be understood. These dreams of energy became his passion. While many people only thought about work, money, or survival, Tesla's heart was burning with ideas that no one had ever seen before. He was ready to dedicate his entire life to finding the secrets of energy. Chapter 4. The Journey to Knowledge. After finishing school in his small town, Nikola Tesla wanted to learn more about the science of electricity. At that time, electricity was still a mystery. Only a few people in the world understood how it really worked. Tesla wanted to be one of them. He left home to study engineering at the Austrian Polytechnic in Graz. There, he studied physics, mathematics, and mechanical design. He was an excellent student. In the beginning, he impressed all his teachers with his discipline and ability to visualize machines in his mind. He could solve complex problems without writing a single formula on paper. But Tesla's obsession with work became too intense. He studied day and night, sometimes sleeping only 2 or 3 hours. He wanted to know everything about electric motors, power, and energy. However, this extreme dedication affected his health. He started to suffer from exhaustion and anxiety. During this period, Tesla saw for the first time a direct current motor, the kind used by Thomas Edison. Although it was a great invention for its time, Tesla immediately noticed its limitations. He believed that alternating current, AC power, was the true future of electricity. In his mind, he began designing a system that could send energy to faraway places safely and efficiently. He was years ahead of his time, but life was not easy for him. Tesla had financial problems and could not finish his studies. He left the university without a diploma, but with something much more important, a clear vision of his mission. He decided that he would not stop until he discovered how to use alternating current to power the entire world. Chapter 5: Journey to America. In 1884, Nikola Tesla was 28 years old. He decided to leave Europe and travel to America, the land of invention and opportunity. He had big dreams, but almost no money. All he carried was a small suitcase, some drawings of his inventions, and a letter of recommendation for a man named Thomas Edison. When Tesla arrived in New York City, he was shocked. The streets were full of noise, lights, and smoke. The tall buildings, the crowds, and the energy of the city amazed him. He felt that this was the place where he could make his dreams real. Soon, Tesla met Thomas Edison, who was already famous for inventing the electric light bulb. Edison was impressed by Tesla's intelligence and hired him to work in his company. Tesla worked hard, sometimes 18 hours a day, improving Edison's machines and fixing electrical problems that others could not solve. But the two men were very different. Edison believed in direct current DC, while Tesla believed in alternating current AC. Tesla tried to explain that AC could send electricity over long distances, but Edison refused to believe it. He said, "Alternating current is too dangerous. It will never work." Tesla respected Edison, but knew that science had to move forward. After some months, when Edison refused to pay him the money he was promised, Tesla decided to leave. It was a difficult moment. He was alone, poor, and disappointed, but he did not lose faith. Tesla said to himself, "The future belongs to those who believe in their dreams." And with that belief, he began to walk his own path, a path that would soon change the world. Chapter 6: The War of Currents. After leaving Edison's company, Nikola Tesla had no money and no job. For time, he worked doing small electrical repairs and even digging ditches just to survive. But in his heart, he carried a dream bigger than his struggles: to prove that alternating current AC was the future of electricity. At that time, Thomas Edison controlled the electric industry in America. His system of direct current DC was already being used in many cities. However, DC power could not travel very far. The energy quickly weakened in long wires. To bring light to millions, a new system was needed. Tesla's idea was revolutionary. With AC, electricity could travel hundreds of miles through transformers and cables. It could power entire cities from one central source. But Edison saw this as a threat to his business. He started a campaign against Tesla, trying to convince people that AC was dangerous. He even organized public demonstrations where animals were electrocuted to make people afraid of alternating current. It was a dark moment. Tesla faced not only poverty but also humiliation. Yet, he refused to give up. His belief in AC was stronger than fear. He began working with George Westinghouse, a businessman who understood Tesla's vision. Westinghouse bought Tesla's patents and gave him the chance to build the first AC power plants. The competition between Edison and Tesla became known as the War of Currents. It was a battle between two visions of the future, one driven by profit and control, the other by innovation and the dream of sharing energy with the world. When the World's Fair of 1893 opened in Chicago, Tesla's system powered the entire exhibition with beautiful electric lights. People were amazed. For the first time, they saw how powerful and safe alternating current could be. Tesla had won. The world had entered the age of electricity, and it was powered by Nikola Tesla's imagination. Chapter 7: The Invention Factory. After the success at the World's Fair, Nikola Tesla became famous. Investors, engineers, and reporters wanted to meet the man who had defeated Thomas Edison. For the first time in his life, Tesla had enough money and support to bring his imagination to life. He opened his own laboratory in New York City, a place filled with energy, light, and endless ideas. Inside that laboratory, strange and wonderful things happened. Blue sparks jumped between metal coils. Motors turned without touching any wires. And in the middle of it all stood Tesla, tall, focused, and surrounded by the glow of electricity. He invented the induction motor, a device that changed how machines worked forever. He also created the Tesla coil, a high-voltage transformer that produced powerful lightning-like arcs of electricity. These inventions became the foundation of modern electrical engineering. But Tesla was not satisfied. He dreamed of even greater things: wireless power, communication through the air, and machines that could capture the natural energy of the earth. He said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Visitors to his lab described it as magical. When Tesla demonstrated his inventions, lights turned on without wires, and electric arcs danced around him like living fire. People were amazed, some even frightened, thinking he controlled supernatural forces. But Tesla only smiled. He knew it was not magic, it was science. His laboratory became a true invention factory, where imagination met reality. In that place, Tesla wasn't just building machines. He was building the future. Chapter 8. A man ahead of his time. By the end of the 1890s, Nikola Tesla had become one of the most respected inventors in the world. But fame and success did not change him. While others were building businesses, Tesla was still chasing ideas far beyond his time. He dreamed of a world where electricity could be transmitted without wires, where every home could receive free energy from the air. He believed the entire planet could be connected through invisible waves carrying power, messages, and even images. Today, we call it wireless communication, but Tesla imagined it decades before it became real. To make his dream come true, he began building a giant structure on Long Island, New York. It was called the Wardenclyffe Tower. Tesla said this tower would send electricity and information through the earth itself. He told investors, "With this, I will light up the entire world." But not everyone shared his vision. Many businessmen wanted profit, not free energy. When they realized Tesla's goal was to give power to people everywhere, they withdrew their support. The project stopped before it could be completed. Despite the disappointment, Tesla continued to work. He made new discoveries about wireless transmission, resonance, and magnetic fields. However, the world was not ready for his ideas. Most people could not imagine a future powered by invisible energy. In the newspapers, some began to call him a mad scientist. But Tesla did not care. He said, "The present is theirs. The future, for which I really worked, is mine." And he was right. More than a century later, his ideas became the foundation for radio, Wi-Fi, and wireless energy. He truly was a man ahead of his time. Chapter 9. Friends and Patrons. Even the greatest minds need support. For Nikola Tesla, one of the most important people in his journey was George Westinghouse, the businessman who believed in Tesla's ideas when few others did. Westinghouse bought Tesla's patents for alternating current and paid him fairly, allowing Tesla to continue his experiments. He once said, "Mr. Tesla, you have built the future. Let me help you build it faster." Their partnership changed the world. Together, they brought electricity to homes, factories, and cities. Westinghouse handled the business, while Tesla focused on invention. It was the perfect combination of vision and practicality. However, not all of Tesla's relationships ended well. As the years went by, his ideas became more advanced and more expensive. Many investors wanted quick profit, not experiments that might take decades to succeed. Tesla refused to compromise his principles. He wanted to give humanity something greater than money, knowledge and progress. Eventually, Tesla gave up the royalties that Westinghouse owed him, millions of dollars that could have made him one of the richest men in the world. He did it to save Westinghouse's company from bankruptcy during a difficult time. It was a noble act, but it left Tesla with very little income for the rest of his life. He once said, "Money does not represent such a value as men have placed upon it." All my money has been invested into experiments with which I have made new discoveries. Tesla's generosity was his strength and his weakness. He gained the admiration of scientists, but lost the attention of investors. Still, his passion for discovery never stopped. He kept creating, kept dreaming, and kept believing that the best was yet to come. Chapter 10. A Strained Personality. Nikola Tesla was not like other people. He lived in his own world, a world of ideas, light, and invisible forces. Many who met him said he was polite, kind, and soft-spoken, but also mysterious and distant. Tesla had many unique habits that made him different. He was obsessed with cleanliness and order. He washed his hands often and refused to shake hands with others, fearing germs. He always used exact numbers, preferring things that could be divided by 3. For example, when he stayed in hotels, he demanded rooms whose numbers were multiples of 3. He also had a strange relationship with food. He believed that eating too much could make the brain slower, so he followed a very strict diet. He usually ate alone and at the same time every day. Even his dinner had to be served on perfectly clean plates. Tesla rarely slept. He claimed he needed only 2 hours of sleep each night. When an idea came to him, he would stay awake for days, drawing, calculating, and building models without rest. Sometimes, he became so lost in his thoughts that he forgot to eat or drink water. But despite his odd habits, Tesla was a man of deep compassion. He loved animals, especially pigeons. In his later years, he fed and cared for hundreds of them in New York's parks. There was one white pigeon he loved dearly. He once said, "I loved that pigeon as a man loves a woman, and she loved me. As long as I had her, there was purpose to my life." These habits made some people think he was eccentric or even mad, but to those who truly understood him, Tesla was simply a man whose mind was too full of light to live an ordinary life. Chapter 11. Later Struggles. As the years passed, the world began to change. New inventors and businessmen took the stage, and the name of Nikola Tesla slowly faded from the public's memory. While others grew rich from their inventions, Tesla continued to live simply, focused only on his ideas. He no longer had a laboratory of his own. A fire had destroyed his previous one, burning years of research and equipment. It was a devastating loss, but Tesla refused to give up. He said, "I may have lost my lab, but not my mind." Still, life became difficult. Without strong financial support, he moved from one small apartment to another in New York City. He spent most of his days in libraries and parks, feeding pigeons and thinking about new projects. He still dreamed of creating a wireless energy network, one that could power the entire Earth. But investors were no longer interested. They wanted practical inventions that made quick profit, not dreams of free energy for humanity. Tesla also began to feel the weight of age. He had worked so hard for so long that his body became weak. He often suffered from headaches and dizziness. But even in pain, he continued to write, draw, and calculate. His notebooks were filled with designs for flying machines, new forms of energy, and even visions of communication between planets. People who met him in those later years described him as gentle, quiet, and humble. Though he was living in poverty, he never complained. He believed that his work had meaning, even if the world did not see it yet. He said, "The scientific man does not aim at an immediate result. His duty is to lay the foundation for those who are to come." Tesla's later struggles were not a sign of failure. They were proof of his pure devotion to science and to humanity. He had given everything, his time, his health, his wealth, for the dream of a better world. Chapter 12. The Final Years. By the early 1940s, Nikola Tesla was an old man. He lived alone in a small room on the 33rd floor of the New Yorker hotel, surrounded by his notes, books, and memories. Every morning, he fed the pigeons that came to his window, calling them his friends. He spoke to them gently, as if they could understand his thoughts. The world outside had changed completely. Airplanes flew across the skies. Radios connected nations, and electricity reached almost every home. Much of this was possible because of Tesla's inventions. Yet, few people remembered his name. He watched others take credit for ideas he had imagined decades earlier. Still, he did not express bitterness. He said quietly, "I am content that the future will see the truth." Tesla continued to work on his ideas until the very end. He believed in wireless power, in clean energy drawn directly from nature, and even in contact with other planets. Many considered him eccentric, but those who studied his work knew he was simply far ahead of his time. On January 7, 1943, Nikola Tesla passed away peacefully in his sleep. He was 86 years old. A maid found him the next day, sitting quietly in his chair, as if he had simply drifted into another dimension. When the news spread, scientists around the world mourned. The American government secured his papers and notes, realizing how important his research might be. But for many ordinary people, Tesla was still a mystery. The man who could make lightning dance, yet died alone in the shadows. Still, his light did not go out. It only began to shine brighter with time. Today, his inventions power our world. His vision inspires scientists, and his name stands among the greatest minds in human history. Nikola Tesla's final years were quiet, but his legacy continues to speak. A reminder that true genius never dies. It only transforms into light. Chapter 13, Legacy of Light. Nikola Tesla's story did not end with his death. In many ways, it had only just begun. The inventions he created and the ideas he dreamed became the foundation of the modern world. Every time you switch on a light, charge your phone, or connect to Wi-Fi, you are touching the legacy of Tesla. He gave humanity the alternating current system, AC, that powers cities, homes, and industries. He opened the doors to wireless communication, paving the way for radios, cell phones, and satellites. Even the electric cars that bear his name today, Tesla, are a tribute to the man who dreamed of clean, infinite energy. But perhaps his greatest gift was not a machine or an invention. It was his vision, the belief that science could serve humanity, not control it. Tesla never worked for money or fame. He worked for the future, for progress, and for the betterment of life on Earth. His ideas continue to inspire scientists, engineers, and dreamers all over the planet. When people look at the night sky and wonder about the mysteries of the universe, they are following the same curiosity that guided Tesla's mind. In a world that often values power and profit, Tesla reminds us that true greatness comes from imagination, purpose, and love for humanity. He once said, "The desire that guides me in all I do is the desire to harness the forces of nature to the service of mankind." And that is exactly what he did. Today, Nikola Tesla stands as a symbol of light, not only the physical light of electricity, but the inner light of knowledge, hope, and discovery. His brilliance continues to illuminate the path for generations to come. Chapter 14, Conclusion. Nikola Tesla's life is a story of light, both the light that shines in the world and the one that shines within us. He proved that imagination can be stronger than limitation, that faith in an idea can overcome poverty and doubt. He taught us that the human mind, guided by passion and purpose, can turn dreams into reality. Tesla's story is not just about electricity. It is about vision. He looked beyond what others could see and dared to believe in the impossible. That same spirit still lives in everyone who refuses to give up, who keeps learning, creating, and dreaming. If you were inspired by this story, let it remind you that your ideas also have power. No dream is too big, no challenge too hard, when you walk with determination and faith. What part of Tesla's life inspired you the most? Tell us in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this story, give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend who loves to learn, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next incredible journey. Keep your mind open, your heart bright, and your curiosity alive. Because as Nikola Tesla showed us, the real energy of the universe is the power of ideas.